Hola, buenos días, buenas tardes, buenas noches, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be. This is Vanessa, and today I am sharing with you a recipe. It's kind of a recipe from the heart of arepas abombadas or puffed up arepas. They're fried and crispy arepas with a savory filling, and the dough has sugar, or I put brown sugar in it, and I put cinnamon in it. Although for arepitas dulces, which are very similar to these, people use anise, but I hate anise, so I use cinnamon. Anyway, come with me and I'll make some arepas abombadas. The thing about arepas abombadas actually is that my mom would get up very few times in the year because she doesn't love cooking, but she would get up and make them for us. So I knew that whenever she made them, it meant that she was in a good mood or it was something special, or maybe she just felt like making them. And so I learned not by a recipe, but just by watching her. And then I adjusted after immigrating to the US and feeling, kind of sad because of like seasonal affective disorder and all these different things in the fall and the winter, especially in Iowa where I live. The darkness and the cold. Some of the things that made me feel really good was just reconnecting with the food of Venezuela, especially the food of my childhood. And one of my favorite foods from childhood is arepas abombadas. So I'll show you my way of doing them. I don't use a lot of fancy equipment, but yeah, it's just like a little glimpse into something that I love. And I'll put rough recipe in the notes that you'll be able to follow. And then I think it's just also trial and error because I guess, as I said, it's a recipe from the heart. Okay, vámonos. For these arepas, first of all is the harina pan or the arepa dough. I use the yellow one. There's also a white corn version. I just kind of like the color of this one. And this will tell you the ratio, the correct ratio that you should be using. So guide yourself from that. Because I'm making a small batch today, I'm using half a cup of harina and then about 2/3 of a cup of water, salt to taste, and cinnamon. Usually these arepas are made with anise seed or something else. I don't like anise seed, so I just use cinnamon. That's an eyeballed kind of proportion, so it's up to you how cinnamony or spiced you want it to be. Sugar, the same thing, brown sugar specifically. It's an eyeball kind of quantity, but I think that it might be about maybe quarter of a cup, a little under that. I like to incorporate cheese into the dough of the arepas abombadas. That's something I picked up here in the States, so I just used whatever was available today. And then, since the most important thing about arepas abombadas is kind of the technique, I have a spatula, which you will use to coat the arepa in some of the oil that you're going to be frying it in, or baste it. And then I have my tongs and a fork to get it out of the frying pan. And then obviously I have my little frying pan here. So this is kind of a recipe from the heart, just from watching my mom make it. I kind of figured it out until what tasted right came out. So these are the ingredients again. First thing that you want to do is get your oil started. So that's what I'm gonna start doing. I'm gonna maybe put it in low heat, and then get enough oil into the pan. I would say about maybe half of an inch, something like that. Make sure it's enough though. So once that's started to heat up, you have your water always put the water first and then the dough. I cannot stress that enough.
Right to jail.
Put a little bit of salt. And then your cinnamon, brown sugar. And you're gonna get that mixed up. Get it mixed up. Not totally mixed up, but a little bit. And then you're going to put the masa. And if you mess up the ratio for some reason, you can always add some more water or some more dough. And remember that you should probably let it rest about 3 or 4 minutes before you will get that final consistency. So this seems pretty good as far as consistency. Not a lot of lumps or anything like that. And then should add the cheese once again, also an eyeball proportion. I'm putting about 1/4 cup in there. This dough, I already feel it's a little too tough, so I'm gonna have to correct it with some water. A little bit of water to the rescue so that it's not too dry. This is a good consistency. First, you start by making the round arepa, kind of small. It's important that it's thin. What we want is for this to puff up. Now, as you know, our elders are not afraid of the hot oil. Neither should we. There we go. Let it be for a little bit. And then pretty soon you're gonna start basting it. And make sure that you're also checking for the bottom so that it's not stuck. These take a while and they're best eaten hot. So when you're planning on making arepas abombadas, definitely plan ahead. Get up earlier if you're gonna have them for breakfast, or just let the people that you're feeding know that it's gonna take a little while and that as soon as they're ready, they gotta come eat them. Because otherwise they're not as good. I mean, arepas are always good, but definitely make sure that you get them while they're really hot. I think we're starting to see the little puff up. Some of them are really great at puffing up and others not so much. Pretty puffed up, pretty good. Plus it's hard to tell when they're done because of the cinnamon, because they get brown, and so usually your indicator is when they are kind of darker. But if you see the good puff up, you know that it's pretty done. Pretty good. Look at that. I think the most difficult thing now is going to be getting it out. So let's see. First one, and then usually the second one is better. You can see it's kind of puffy, and depending on how long you leave them there or you baste them for, then they can get a lot puffier. So now we have our arepas ready and our filling. I found some cheese and some prosciutto. You can fill them with whatever savory filling you like. I love a classic ham and cheese. This is, I guess it's not classic. prosciutto, but I will teach you how to do. So look at how this looks. It's not health food, guys, but that's okay. I open it up. Gotta be kind of delicate about it because the little puffed up part is pretty delicate, can break. So this is how it looks. It's pretty thin, and then kind of more dough at the bottom. Put in some cheese, prosciutto, and there you have your arepa bombada to eat. So here we go. Let's try it. This definitely tastes like childhood, like a labor of love when my mom would get up to make these for us. I know it took her a really long time, as you saw from the video. So if you have someone make you arepas bombadas, or if you make them for someone, you know it's a labor of love. So these are pretty delicious. Yeah, share them anytime. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and leave me a little comment. Send me a little suggestion. Maybe there's some Venezuelan food or some American food, Iowa food that you want me to prepare. This is me, and that's it. All right. Ciao.